Hey everyone, today I'm excited to talk about a thrilling teen horror movie called Cuckoo. Get ready, because I'm going to share some big spoilers, so watch out and stay safe. The movie starts in a house where a man and woman are having a loud argument, but we can only see their shadows. Then a teenage girl shows up and hears a strange bird call. It makes her body twitch, and she gets really scared. She quickly runs into the dark woods. Meanwhile, a man is on the phone, telling another man that the girl is missing. The second man says that their next targets will be much easier to control. Teenager Gretchen is moving in with her dad, Luis, and his new wife Beth, in their home in the beautiful Bavarian Alps after her mom has passed away. Gretchen has a half-sister named Alma who can't talk, but Gretchen refuses to think of her as anything more than her dad's daughter. When they arrive, they meet Dr. Koenig, the friendly owner of a nearby hotel where Gretchen is offered a job. She also meets Dr. Bonomo, who is in charge of the hotel staff. Gretchen is asked to spend some time with her sister, Alma. While Gretchen plays music and has fun, Alma tries to copy her air guitar moves. Suddenly, they hear that strange bird call again, and it sounds really loud and sharp. It makes Alma have a seizure, and Gretchen keeps reliving the same moments again and again until Alma accidentally scratches her face. Just then, the noise stops, and their dad, Luis, and Beth rush in to help Alma. Gretchen starts her job at the hotel with a woman named Beatrix, but everyone calls her Trixie. Trixie's boyfriend, a police officer named Eric, is also there to help. While working, Gretchen sees a woman in the lobby who is feeling really sick and throwing up until her husband comes to take care of her. Later, Gretchen meets another woman named Ed, who comes in to ask for a room and to buy a 6-pack of beer. Afterward, Gretchen and Trixie see the same woman from earlier. She is throwing up again but then drinks something and quietly walks away. After work, Gretchen gets ready to ride her bike back home, even though Dr. Koenig warned her it's not safe to go back alone at that time and offered to give her a ride. As she rides through the woods, she suddenly sees a strange, hooded woman chasing her. Scared, Gretchen runs into a station to get help, but she accidentally bumps her head against the glass and gives herself a bad cut. The hooded woman disappears, and when Gretchen tells Eric about what happened, he thinks it's just a prank and doesn't take her seriously. The next day, a man named Henry approaches Gretchen at the resort. He tells her that he is a detective and is looking into a murder that has to do with the same woman Gretchen saw the night before. Gretchen sees Ed again, and they step outside while sharing a cigarette. They talk about running away together to Paris, but suddenly, Gretchen finds herself stuck in a time loop again when that screeching bird call sounds off. The hooded woman appears in the middle of the road, making Ed swerve and crash the car. The woman pulls Ed out and tosses her aside before coming after Gretchen. Gretchen wakes up at the resort in a medical room. After talking with her dad and Beth, she sees Henry again. He tells her that the hooded woman might be connected to the death of his wife and another woman in the area, the one who had been throwing up earlier. He explains that the victims were found choked to death on their own vomit by their husbands. Once she's allowed to leave her room, Gretchen joins Henry as they keep watch outside the suite where the woman and her husband stayed, called the Lover's Lounge. Trixie and Eric are planning to have a private romantic evening in the suite. While Eric goes to get something for Trixie, the bird call sounds again, and he gets caught in the time loop. The hooded woman comes in and scares Trixie, making her faint. The woman tries to put some strange goo inside Trixie. Just then, Gretchen and Henry enter the suite after the woman runs away. They quickly turn Trixie onto her side so she won't choke. The next morning, when Gretchen sees her dad, Luis, she asks him about all the strange things happening at the resort and how Dr. Koenig is mixed up in some shady stuff. Koenig then brings in a box that was delivered to the house. Inside, Gretchen finds all of her mom's belongings. This makes Luis confess that he sold their old house, which makes Gretchen really mad. Koenig stands by the window and plays a tune on a flute, causing the screeching bird call to sound again. While Gretchen goes to listen to her mom's old answering machine, hoping to hear her voice, she suddenly hears what sounds like a message from Alma using a text-to-speech voice. Alma invites Gretchen's mom to visit to make Gretchen happy. Gretchen leaves her room and discovers that her family is gone. Dr. Koenig tells her that Alma had a seizure and was taken to the hospital. He offers to take Gretchen to the nearest train station, so she agrees to go with him. But instead, he brings her to his house, where she finds Eric holding Henry as a hostage. Koenig explains to Gretchen that Henry lost his job as a detective after working on a case connected to Koenig. Then, Koenig sprays something in Gretchen's face that makes her dizzy and locks her in a pool house. Gretchen tries to break out, but when the bird call sounds again, she gets stuck in the time loop once more. Suddenly, she is knocked out by the same teenage girl from before. Dr. Koenig then appears to explain his whole experiment. He reveals that the hooded woman is part of a strange species that has been around for hundreds of years. This species can make other women have their babies, allowing the babies to be raised by humans until they grow up and join their kind, just like cuckoo birds do. Koenig explains that this is also true for Alma, who is actually a daughter of the hooded woman, with Beth just being a surrogate. The teenage cuckoo tries to make Gretchen have a baby too, but then Henry grabs a gun and shoots Koenig and the young woman before he helps Gretchen escape. Gretchen and Henry rush to the hospital, where Dr. Bonomo is in charge of the experiment to bring Alma back to the hooded woman, her mother. Beth starts to feel sick and is taken away with Luis. Suddenly, Koenig appears, having survived the gunshot, and he kills Bonomo and her assistant. He gets ready to finish the experiment himself, while Henry stops Gretchen from saving Alma, thinking that she is a monster that should be destroyed. To break free and rescue her sister, Gretchen uses her butterfly knife to stab Henry. Gretchen frees Alma, but Alma pushes her away and runs off. The cuckoo mother arrives and starts chasing Gretchen while she tries to catch Alma. The creature sneaks up on Gretchen in the records room until Henry limps in and knocks over some shelves. The mother sees Gretchen but gets stabbed in the throat and starts to bleed. Alma runs away just in time to avoid a shootout between Henry and Koenig. Gretchen finds a way to reach Alma by reminding her of the message she heard earlier. She tells Alma that their mother said thank you. Finally, the two sisters come together. Gretchen tries to lead Alma to safety, but Koenig tries to shoot at them. Gretchen runs while he is reloading, but Henry still wants to kill Alma. Suddenly, Alma lets out a loud scream like their mother, which confuses Koenig and Henry long enough for Gretchen and Alma to escape. In a dramatic moment, Koenig and Henry shoot each other at the same time, and they both fall. The girls leave the facility and find Ed waiting outside because she has left the hospital. She drives Gretchen and Alma far away from the resort to keep them safe. Which movie should we recap next? Drop your suggestions in the comments below, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more movie recaps. Thanks for watching. Produced by Warner Recap.